Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Okay, this one is also whimsical, also very nice. So you're both in, it looks like a mini, I don't know, it could be a prop.
A bus?
Like a mini bus kind of thing. It's nicely painted, very sort of white, baby blue, candy red. You're both looking out the windows of this little mini bus. Is this on the ship?
It actually was on the ship. Yeah, it was fun.
You're both looking out the windows of this little mini bus thing, looking at the photographer. It's very sweet. Let's see, Charles, you're waving. Rox, your hand is kind of there. You're just kind of looking. It's very bright sun on you guys. It's very high contrast, very playful. What is this about?
We're off to another journey. We're off to another book.
Nice.
So we were nearly finished with Enigma Airs, though we hadn't quite positioned it correctly yet, but we were starting to write on the next book, which is coming out in August. And so that was like, we just got to keep on our journey. More writing, more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a symbolic of our careers as writers, and I thought it was an interesting comment on, hey, I'm with my best friend. I've got a chance to be able to go to the next destination, and it's fun having that to share with somebody.
Aww,
That's sweet.
It's so sweet.
It is sweet.
It's very sweet. So, how long have you guys been working together?
Well, gee, at least 2 decades.
We worked together for a long time. So originally, I hired Charles in a technology role, as far as how we've been working together. So we were co-workers at a couple of different companies. The tech world kind of goes in and out like a folding paper thing, whatever those are called. I can't remember now.
Origami.
Yeah, like an origami. That's a good one. So we worked at a couple of different companies. We started writing nonfiction in those companies and becoming subject matter experts. And then I guess from a series perspective, about 10 years.
Okay. So let's try to okay, in this particular case, like, how do we, because I'm all about inspiring and getting other people to kind of move into action. And what's great about you two is that you're feeding off each other, right? So it's like, some days I imagine one of you wakes up going, oh, I don't really feel it. And then the other person kind of pulls you up. So how about you talk about the role of partnership in creative output?
Well, it's we depend upon each other for feedback. So I may work on something and then send it over to her, and usually it's at the wrong time of day because she's got a full-time job with a tech company, but. Here's an idea. Here's something that, or a request will come through. We need to have material from you guys to get in this competition. And so I may structure something like, after we have a brief conversation or an IM conversation, where I say, what do you think about this? And he goes, yeah, let's try, put this kind of spin on it. Remember that story we worked on but set aside? Why don't you dust that off and try that one? And so it's... the partnership is because we've got that history with each other. We've got the knowledge, the written, here's something we're passionate about. Here's something that this would be a fun exercise. Or this is going to be a tragic piece that we need to highlight because it's real world. So we'll work through that in a instant message. Storm or email or a voice call if we've got the time to be able to chat.
So one of the things that in my responding to listeners, one of the feedback I've had was that what I've built over the past few decades is expertise in something called service leadership. So really looking at this notion of what is service. And service in our world, in our books, in our training is the energy we bring within our relationships. So every time you have two people together, that energy between two people, that connection is what we call service. So a newborn gives parents a service, friends give each other service. How about you talk about this idea that you have this very tight network of two, maybe even more, because you have other people who support you in your writing. But how about you talk about or interpret this notion of service to one another?
So in our case, from a writing perspective, we do bring those different personalities together in the writing, in the tone, and try to make them sound like one voice. And that means we have to allow each other to say, I like it or I don't like it, without any kind of a major, argument about it, which is why it works well for us. Oftentimes when you have your, let's just one person, you're writing and you have your spouse read it, and your spouse is going to say, oh, I love it. Most of them, unless they're very, very open and honest. But in most cases, it's going to be, I love it. Wonderful. If you give it to your friends who like you and appreciate you, they know you want to hear that it's wonderful. And so we tend to not do that with one another. Now, in our case, Charles's wife, Sandy, is our first line of editing. So she doesn't see it until after we get it to a certain polished level. Then she can go ahead and add her commentary and her English major training into the mix to take it to the next level. But it allows us not to argue about a specific issue or item. And that's good. I mean, you don't want to you won't be friends, for one thing. I mean, I think to a degree, Charles and I are best friends because, we're pretty straight up with one another and, say how we feel, but it's not going to be a whole relationship kind of killer, like it would be with a spousal kind of situation. So I think that's a positive thing for us because it allows us to be a little more honest, I think. And that honesty is an important element.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to kind of camp onto that, Ron, after we've got the property to a point where we want to be able to take the next step to it, we will present it to our graphic designer and say, and this is where our collaborative efforts of, okay, and this is what we think we see, and then she'll take it and chew on it, and that's where that feedback will come to. We'll get covers and interior work. We'll do the same thing with the production team in California that does the video trailers for us. We'll draft the storyboards and say, this is what we would envision, and invariably the front row's production engineer he always takes the stuff. He's always really polite and promptly throws it away and says, "Okay, I'll get you what you need." And then we've got our marketing folks that they give us we'll petition them. Here's what we'd like to be able to do. This is what we think, and then they'll help temper our enthusiasm, I guess is probably the best way to put it, for something that's more realistic. And so but it's always the same. Once we've got the property that we're pleased with the way the story runs and all like that, then it's the next phase, and we typically present it as a duo, and that's how they're used to dealing with us, so that we get both vectors aimed at that next organization to be able to help give us the very best product we can build. Okay.
So what in terms of what's coming down? Like what can people expect from this dynamic duo? What's around the corner?
Honestly, the very next book, it's on pre-order right now, Rand, and it's a fun little venture we got involved in with a dozen other authors now. Well, a total of 12 authors, including us as one author.
Nice.
And it's the underground authors. And we got together and started writing books about this wonderful town called Magnolia Bluff. It's in Texas. It's in the hill country, which is the land of wineries and, beautiful rolling hills and wildflowers and, just amazing kinds of spaces. And so each author in this group will write a book, cozy mystery, which is a little different for us and allowed us to stretch on a different genre, a cozy mystery, but kind of sticking to your own genre. So we have a cozy mystery that has a bit of an edge about thriller in it or technology in it. And so each book in the series is a standalone book, period. And we don't do cliffhangers from one book to the next. We don't kill other people's characters. But Magnolia Bluff really it's the thriving business in Magnolia Bluff is the cemetery. And it grows by leaps and bounds. So.
Nice.
Yeah. And the people that are most overworked are the police, the detectives, and the coroners. So, those are sort of it's the Magnolia Bluff Crime Chronicles series, and we're into the second season, and we're book number 16 that'll be out in August.
Oh wow,
20th. So it's on pre-orders, and as Rox had indicated. So a fun exercise, and we just had one of the other authors say, "Quick, I need to borrow one of your characters for the book after you. Can I do that?" So yeah, so I sent a little snippet to her. And I got a note back saying, "This is hysterical. Thank you."
Nice.
It's gratifying to be able to lend characters. I said, just make sure you don't whack them.
That's great.
So the Killer Enigma is the one people need to look out for right now, and it is on a pre-order on a discounted price. So we're all saving our pennies.
And these are all the website's going to be in the show notes, but you just say the website right now.
EnigmaSeries.com.
Easy peasy, fantastic. EnigmaSeries.com. Roxanne, Charles, it's been a pleasure. This is great.
Rand, you're so much fun. I love the way you take this show.
Oh,
you really are.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rand. If you get a chance to invite us back next year, we'll have fresh photos for you.
Oh, you're amazing.
We can keep you laughing year after year.
You guys are truly quite an amazing pair. Like really, it's really interesting to me because I understand writing to see like you're working, practicing, like you're doing it, like you're doing the work, and it's really inspiring. Wow, amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Well done. Okay, so thank you, and have a fantastic week, month, year. I'll talk to you next year.
Perfect.
Thanks,
too.
man.
Be safe.
Talk later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
So is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it